1,000 Books Before Kindergarten is a self-paced program that families can do any time of year, and it's simply counting the number of books that your child reads. It's important to read to your child because they'll learn all the skills that they need to get ready for school. So while you're reading to them, they're learning letters, words, and word sounds, which will help them build those words later on when they're learning to read. So you can count books that are read at child care centers, at home, in the library, at story times, wherever you're reading. You just count as you go, as little or as long as it takes, and then you just log it either through our app, through Beanstack, or on a printed paper log, whichever is easiest for you. You are going for 100 book milestones, so you can count up to 100 books at a time, and then every time you reach 100 books, you'll come in to get a prize. 1,000 books might sound like a lot, but if you do the math, it's actually not too bad. So if your family attempts to read about 3 picture books a night, if they're about 5 minutes each, that adds up to 1,095 books in a year. But you can, of course, spread it out over longer than a year if that's easier for your family. Let's meet some families who have participated in the program.
1,000 Books Before Kindergarten was a good challenge for our whole family to try to read books and a good way to quantitate what we were reading.
I think I first learned about it through one of the newsletters here at the library, and I thought, well, that should be pretty easy because we're reading all the time.
I'm an educator myself, so knowing and being able to immerse kids in books at such a young age is so important. So we started reading with her, when she was just a couple weeks old, and we've continued ever since. She loves it. So
at night is a guarantee. We're going to read a book before bed. And then getting to the library, we used to do that like once a week. There were different, programs and activities that he really enjoyed, especially.
Potty training,
yeah. We used to book during potty training.
Story times were instrumental. Book recommendations that we get emailed to us, as well as the librarians and anyone else who works here. You say, I need a book on whatever. They have tons of recommendations that are age appropriate.
The staff is like family. Like, I come in and I know most of the staff now because we come so much.
So there's multiple locations, and so he likes the experience of also going and seeing like the toys and reading the books here and everything.
considering that we're almost halfway through and she's 6 months old, I think we've got it down pretty well, and I think it's going to be pretty easy for us to meet.
It just took her 50 months and then I was done.
We didn't start until she was like 2.5. So we thought, well, maybe we started too late. But after the first month of reading, in that summer reading program, we saw we were reading like 50 books a month. And so we just kept
every
doing
time I like 100 books, we went here and got a prize.
So the benefits of completing 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten go well beyond the prizes that we give, which are what the kids will get excited about. But of course, grown-ups can see that their child is increasing their love of reading, their vocabulary will grow, their interest in letters and words will grow. So parents will see all of those benefits and see that their kid is getting ready for school.
We had a conversation about punctuation, that she started realizing what an exclamation mark was for. Now I would read it differently.
I'd be reading to her, and she would start to get used to the stories, and then she would start flipping the pages for me.
He'll watch, some show and then read the book, and then later on you'll be like, how does he know all of this? We're, amazed by what he can bring back, and a lot of that has to do with, him reading as well as, seeing it through other forms of media.
I found out that if you were reading the same book multiple times, you get to count each of those readings as reading a book because you're still reading a book. And children love repetition.
Yeah, I love it.
Reading is just one of the foundational things that a parent can do to set their kid up for success.
Just do it. I mean, there's no downside to it. For us, if you're already reading, and most people probably are, might as well just start logging, and it's not that much of an extra step to do.
I mean, I don't see a reason why not to get into it.
Yeah.
If you don't meet that goal, you're still, introducing your child to all these books, and hopefully developing that love for learning and reading, and I don't see a downside to it.
It's helped us to connect through books and then expand into the world around him.
And I think it's helping us too with preparing her for kindergarten, because it's going through and getting subjects that she's going to be learning about that we haven't touched in a while.
The library is just a fun place to be, and making it fun is how to do it. And we've already started this guy on it too.
So my advice for starting 1,000 books before kindergarten is to just jump in. I think the easiest way is probably to pick up a paper log at any of our locations and a stack of books. So ask for help if you need any recommendations, and then once you come in for that first prize, they'll be super excited to do more.